Good morning, students, and welcome back. I'm Mr. Smithers. I'll be your Gateway to Technology teacher if you're in the middle school, and your Civil Engineering and Architecture teacher if you're in the high school. I'm excited to be back, as I hope you are, and I'm sure that we'll have a challenging year ahead of us, but I'm also confident that we'll get through it together. In a couple minutes, we're going to jump into a screencast. We'll take a look at the course information, so contact information, your unit topics, and some of the stuff that's going to happen within those units, grading policy, and then we'll take a look at Google Classroom, which will house your virtual classroom you'll access each day that'll allow you to take attendance if you're home and virtual. It'll also allow you to access the work for that day and submit any work if that's required. The first thing we're going to look at is a course information page. You can find this in the resource tab in the virtual classroom, which we'll talk more about here in a couple minutes. My contact information is smithers@ccsdk12.org. That's my email address, and definitely the best way to contact me. I'll check it multiple times throughout the day, between the start of the school day and the end of the school day. You're welcome to send me an email after those hours, but you may not get a response until we're between those hours. My school phone is also listed. You can leave me a voicemail. It may take me a little bit longer to respond, and I would still redirect you back to my email because that's the best way to contact me. I have office hours Monday through Thursday, 2:30 to 3:20 for everyone. And virtual students specifically between on Wednesday between 10 and 11. But you can certainly reach out other hours, and we'll make some arrangements. We have 4 units in civil engineering and architecture that we're going to discuss. The first is just an introduction to civil engineering and architecture. There is a slight difference between a civil engineer and an architect, so we'll take a little bit of time. We'll make sure that we understand that, and we'll look at some of the different structures and things that they're responsible for creating. Unit 2 is residential design. So our houses, the homes that you live in. So there's some building codes, there's safe practices, there's things that we can do to make sure that we build efficient homes. So we'll look at those different things. We'll spend considerable time on that. And then we'll move into commercial applications. Those are a little bit larger scale structures, maybe things like the schools that you attend, the hospitals, maybe the factories that manufacture the products that we use, and all those larger scale operations. Our last unit will be commercial building design. This is an awesome unit. I really enjoy it. And if you think about any community that you drive through nowadays, there's really a lot of vacant buildings or things that aren't used anymore. So what this unit focuses on is a building that's not used anymore. It's on a specific site we'll talk about later. And basically what you have to do is renovate that into a new building, which is called the Keystone Library Project. It is pretty exciting. We'll use a program called Revit. It's an architectural design program, and it's part of the Inventor package. But I think everybody will really enjoy that. You get to bring in a lot of your own creativity, and it's really just something that people seem to enjoy and get really excited about. For the grading policy, I have 4 categories, all equally weighted at 25%. Class participation, make sure you're marking your attendance and participating in anything that we might have showing up in Google Classroom that day. 25% to classwork. Those are going to be our shorter assignments that span maybe a day or two. And then our activities will span maybe 3 days to even possibly 2 weeks. In the last category, exams, those will be our tests, quizzes, and things that happen within each unit. For late work, I typically take off 10 points, and then you get an extra week to turn things in before it's too late. But obviously, this will be an interesting year. So if you have any problems, please reach out. We're all on the same team, and we're not trying to take points away when we don't need to. What we're going to look at now is your Google Classroom account. Each day, I'll ask that you log in, select your class, and complete the tasks. I'm assuming that everybody was able to do that, or you wouldn't be able to see this video right now. So once you select your class each day, you should see something with that day's date and virtual classroom next to it. So when you do that, give it a couple clicks, and you should be into your virtual classroom. I'll have 4 tasks there. The first one is always your attendance. If you select that, it'll bring you into a Google form. Please just select the period that you have class, and I'll mark you here for attendance. Next is the lesson. So whatever lesson we're going to work on that day, in this case, that's going to bring you to the video you're watching right now. And then task 3 is always your activity. So if you have something you need to complete and submit, that's where you'll do that. And typically that's just going to be another link within Google Classroom, but just submit your work there, please. Task 4, resources. You'll find today's course information page within that resource tab, and then I'll keep adding to that as we get through new content, so you can always find that stuff within that tab. What I'm hoping everybody can do today is select task 3, which is your activity, and complete that and submit. All it's going to be is completing a title page or title slide in Google Slides. And if you follow the steps within the activity, you shouldn't have a problem. In closing, again, I'd just like to say welcome back, everyone. I'm looking forward to a fun and exciting school year.